the new city jerseys. Now, I've actually called them the Cade OSUs because that's
Mhm.
what they look like to me. But what are your thoughts on these new Detroit Pistons city jerseys?
Um, well, they are basically just a color swap of last year's Bad Boys uniforms, which I also thought were OSU inspired as well. Um, but for some reason, to me, these look way cleaner than last year's black. And I was a fan of the Bad Boys uniforms last year, but these look so much cleaner. I think these might be. I would put these and the red ones that they wore in 2021-22. Those I think are the best uniforms. This might be a hot take outside of the teal, because I know there's a lot of divisiveness about the teal. I think the teal by far is the best uniform the Pistons have ever had. In terms of just cool factor, right? Like what a
Yeah.
jersey just looks cool. The teal's the best. Then I'd put the maroon version. Any actually, I'm gonna put any variation of that era as number one. This might be number two. This might be number two, or the red one from 2021-22 might be number two for me. Just because like it has a level of like, I wouldn't, not to say I would be, out wearing jerseys in public. That's just not my thing. But if I were, I would want it to look like this. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of
Hmm.
jerseys that people just wear because it's a favorite team, favorite player. This is just a cool looking jersey. It's rare that these, because Nike puts out these city edition uniforms every year, and there's always like a lot of ones that you're like, is it really? You know what I mean? Like in my opinion, the 2020-21, those like dark blue Motor City jerseys they had with like did they have like the red stripe down the middle,
The
the
gray
red
stripe
racing
ones
stripe?
or the blue ones?
It was the one where it had like, it looked like the Denver jerseys where it had like the circle in the middle. They put out
Hmm.
the promo pics and like Blake looked incredibly sad in the
Yeah.
pictures. I think those were the worst they have done by far. But then, every now and then you get a jersey like this that looks, great. I just hope for once I think the Pistons have honestly been on a great stretch with it when it comes to jerseys. I thought the Saint Cecilias were clean. They brought back the teal uniforms. I thought the statement uniforms that they wear, like the black, blue, and red. Some people don't like them. I like them. Um, I think those are clean. I think the Bad Boys uniforms were clean. This is probably my favorite. But with that being said, make it mean something. It's about
Yeah.
time they have these cool jerseys that like, everybody's like, oh, this looks really cool, and we'll get a great mock-up like this. And then they wear them and it's like Wednesday evening in December and they're losing to like the Cleveland Cavaliers by like 15 to 20 points, and the season's already over and we're not even in January yet. Um I think this is the year where hopefully by the end of the year, this jersey has some fond memories attached to it, because I think the fans really deserve it by now.
I can't remember. It's a really good follow on Twitter. I think it's called the Piston Tracker Uniform, and like he actually had the records attached to the win loss record, which I think is so cool that he actually like takes the time to actually tell you um the records. Apparently the roads, we won more games in the road blues than we did anything else. I think the Pepsi Max or the Blue Lives Matter jersey you were talking about. That's what I call them. My neighbor actually calls them the Blue Lives Matter because he's like, dude, this looks like a police car. I was like, you're not wrong, man. Like, I like them though. I think they're simplistic. I think sometimes less is more. I don't mind that they're just kind of like a reverse of the Bad Boys from last year. I just called them the K OSU because it's damn near identical. These are a little bit like cream. They're not white like Cade's Oklahoma State jersey, but hey, man, maybe he can get back to his college form. And college Cade was a must watch, if you ask me.
Talk about generational. That's I think Cade was one of those dudes, truly, and I think he still is. Because the fact that he is still now in a position where a year or 2 years from now, him making an All NBA team is not really out of the question, despite having probably, I call the last few years of his career an origin story. Truly, like and I'm sure we could actually use this to roll into that topic if you want to go into it. I'll save my thoughts actually, but yeah.
I mean, we could talk about that, or we could talk about the leaked court. I mean, you're the guest. You
Oh
tell
yeah.
me.
Yeah, let's do the court real quick.
All right, we'll do the court real quick. So this was actually leaked from 2K, I guess. Here's my question: are they gonna wear the statement red, blue, and black jerseys? Or are they gonna, because sometimes last year, like, they matched, right? Like, are they gonna wear the Jordan jerseys that are Jordan branded with this court, you think?
I would assume so, especially because they have the blue and red stripes down in the corner as well, and the
Yeah.
313 logo in the middle, which I know they use for the statement editions. That being said, I think it also works if you wear the white uniforms on this. The blue I feel like would be overkill. Just because it would maybe blend in a little too much for my liking, and maybe I'm an old man for that. But I think the white and the black uniforms would look great on this court. And I think compared to last year, I wasn't a huge fan of last year's court. Not because of the design. I just thought the gray kind of looked like very NBA 2K-ish, ironically.
Yeah.
Um, it was just it's not a color that pops. This pops for me, and hopefully, with the same I said with the City Edition jerseys, hopefully these have some memories attached to them because I remember watching like any other in season tournament game last year, and it really felt like a meaningful basketball game. And then you would tune into Bally Sports Detroit, or in my case, like be there covering the game, and it just feels like Wednesday. Like it doesn't it didn't feel special. So hopefully like this is a year where the Pistons can make these games important.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't a fan. I've been really against the just the in season tournament. I think it's kind of a waste of people's time because there's like no benefit to like actually playing it. I mean, want to get wild, like have lottery implications to it. Like you win it, you jump a team in the lottery or something like that. Something fun, like something to like where to your point, like it's just a Wednesday night. Like if I know the Pistons have a higher chance of getting a draft pick and they win the in-season tournament, I think a lot of like teams would probably be playing to try to get a top pick. I think it would be more fun that way.
I think even having it count as an extra regular season win, if you win the
Yeah,
championship, is a huge thing because that makes a huge difference when it comes to standings. Like ideally, like it means like, oh, you get like a guaranteed play-in spot, but like okay, like let's say like you suck for the rest of the season, like now you're in the play-in. I feel like that's unfair. But even saying like, having an extra regular season game count for you makes genuinely a season's worth of difference. So I think there's a lot of potential with the in-season tournament. I just think like right now it's just like a concept rather than like an actual thing. Like sure, the players getting money is cool and all, but I think once, and I think I'm confident in the NBA actually adding some implications to this because I know they're aware of the criticism. Um, I think once they start giving these games and the tournament as a whole, like meaning that, like, hey, if you win this, you get an extra regular season win, or if you win this, you get, an extra, like you jump a spot in the lottery or something
yeah,
like that. Yeah. I think those types of things will make this tournament a lot more interesting because, like, I mean, you and I both have used wrestling analogies in the past. Like to me, the in season tournament, I initially said it was like the Intercontinental Championship, where like you win it and it's cool that you won it and it's something you can say, oh, I won this, and like it's kind of a stepping stone type of thing. I think I look at it more now as kind of like the King of the Ring almost, where it's a great thing to have on your resume hypothetically, but it doesn't actually mean anything. But the thing that WWE did, and for those who aren't wrestling fans, don't worry, stay with me. The thing that WWE did the last year, they have this tournament called the King of the Ring, but in the past, all the winner got was like a crown and being able to call themselves King of the Ring, which is basically what the in-season tournament is. This year, however, they changed it to where if you win the tournament, you get, a championship opportunity at SummerSlam, which is a big pay-per-view. Giving that some sort of meaning has elevated the King of the Ring into being actually meaningful. So I think if they give this some sort of meaning, it goes from okay, tournament that's like great for TV to tournament that actually has real implications.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see the in-season tournament more like Money in the Bank, personally.
Or that.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
like,
know how you implement that in the basketball sense.
I don't know, man. Maybe, fifth and sixth seed implications, like make them
Okay.
play it, make them play a little playoff series, like a 2-game series or something like that. I don't know, something fun,
Yeah.
something wacky. But I doubt I doubt they would do anything that crazy. But hopefully, it's a little bit more serious. And don't hang a banner if you win it. Like I saw the Lakers hang a banner. It's not something you hang a banner to. Like just put it in the locker room or something like that. Like Lakers, like, yeah, we won a championship this year. It's like, no, you won an in-season tournament.
I'm counting that as Brown's 5th ring. I don't care.